Welcome to. All right, coolios. So, welcome to the first little fight breakdown. Um, I've got what's crazy? I've actually got a VR controller, or I'm set up on my VR because I actually stream VR games. I don't think anybody cares about that, but let's get down to business. This is actually my first fight. So, this is my first fight. It was against a guy named Chase. I'm going to mute the beginning because it just is music in the beginning. Blah, 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 blah. None of that matters. So I'll start playing it again once we start the fight. They're just saying our names. It's still talking. I just don't want to get copyrighted over nothing. Let's skip on in. All right, cool. The fight is beginning. So this is something I noticed off rip, right? I'm cool with this guy now. I was cool with him then too. It's not even a big deal. It's just absolutely hilarious. Um, a moment we touched gloves, he just came out the gate swinging. Like not even a second later. Like watch this. Bum. We touched and immediately he's tossing this thing up. Boom. Now, honestly, after that, I should have immediately. Well, let's see. I should have immediately countered. This is a problem you'll see a lot with me, even on this fight. I believe I was too patient. I was not moving with enough speed and stuff. Like after good counters and all, I just wasn't doing anything with it, and I should have been. Doom, pom, right there. That should have been my right hand. Um, you can see right here, he throws a feint. It looks like I'm not sure if you want it to land it or if it was supposed to be. I'm gonna have to get used to using this stuff, but it was supposed to be a feint or something. I think. I believe. Question mark. I'm honestly not sure. But anyways, once he threw that, oh my goodness, I cannot with this. So what I'm gonna do is hide. Oh my lord, this is guys. This is my first time. You're gonna have to work with me here. Let me see. Yeah, when you double click, it goes into the big boy. So I'm actually gonna just use this. It's easier. So, anyways, he feints. It looks like into like a jab or something. I'm not sure. It was. I think it was supposed to be a jab, but then he just throws that overhand, and I slip right out the way. Now, I shouldn't have thrown this hand so wide. You can see I get caught up right there, and I try and like almost do like a little overhand to try and catch him, and it catches him, but it's not. There's nothing behind it. It's just it's thrown out there, which sometimes, that's fine. Bump. Yeah, it seemed like a little more power than I gave it credit for. I pressed the pace a little right after that. Bink, bink, pressing the pace. Now, that was on both of our parts, just really sloppy. Not a lot of control. I'll just go back to here. I mean, we are throwing like animals. Bang, 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 bang. Not a lot going on here. Oh my goodness, I am doing terrible at keeping this thing up. I'm going to have to find a system that works for this. Does this work? No, okay. What does this do? If I go to this, nope, it just goes all the way back. Hold up 1 second. Pre! What was that? Do you have the kids? Okay. So, anyways. Oh, I can pull up for precise. I mean, this is helpful, but not really. I don't think I care that much. All right, anyways, let's get back to business. Outside of my wife or these children. Boom. I throw this, little overhand or whatever. Yeah. We're schmoovin'. A little sloppy here. Like even there, you can see it. I keep circling my hands and dropping it. I was able to land that consistently. So that's one of my favorite things to do, period. These little inside kicks, especially against taller guys, oh man, they never fail. They never fail. I've got just enough power in my legs for it to be a problem, but sometimes it does get annoying. So, for me, I don't know what this was supposed to be. It's partially because he was so dang on tall. A lot of the stuff I was throwing maybe shouldn't. Looking back on it, I could have thrown it a different way. And even on this, I should have stepped to the outside of this. I kind of went like into a clinch kind of thing here. And you can see the knees aren't doing anything to me. Um, I really didn't take any damage from this fight. That's not being cocky. I just didn't. Like I was fine. But like I threw a good body shot here, but I didn't follow up off of it. And you'll see that as a reoccurring theme here. I don't follow up off of good stuff. And then look at this dumb little thing I'm doing with my hands here, circling them. It's just dumb. Here, I don't know. When I was doing this, it felt very much like a sparring session more than an actual fight. And that's nothing disrespectful to him. It's just more so the people that I train against daily, they're a lot tougher than this. And that's just being real. So nothing against him. It's just congrats to the people I train with because they bully me all the time. Now here I missed that low kick and I just kind of spin around. I don't know what I was thinking. This 3 years ago now. Maybe I was trying to come around with a spinning back fist, or maybe I was just being lazy and like treating it more like a sparring session instead of an actual fight, like an idiot, which I think is more likely. But I just screwed up, and then I went down, which in any other world that would have been. I mean, I would have been done. I mean, that's a knee asking to come up to the top, like right there. His hand was placed. He was framed perfectly. All he would have had to do was launch that knee. I forgot whether it was even legal at the time or not, but boom, it's over. There's no takedown, so it's not like I can grab anything on the way up, and I suck at wrestling, so that wouldn't matter. But boom, I get my head on the outside, which is the smart move, and then, we're back to business. I'm sick of watching myself circle. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. I'm sick of watching this circle. This circle is giving me anxiety. Each time I see my hands just do this little circling thing, it's like, bro, what are you doing? Now, this is pretty good, I think, on my head movement side. I took off the body line on the jab through I guess, more of a hook, less of a cross with my rear hand, kind of like an overhand, just because he's so dang on tall compared to me. And that's the problem. I just sat there after. You'll see that I freeze up a lot, like bang, bang, and then I just sat there. I should have been moving, firing back, something. Boom. Throwing a little wild here. And then I'm lazy in the feet. Like, look at this. I'm just lazy here. Bang. Good. Decent body shots, but I don't think he took a lot of damage from those because he had his elbows tucked in after the first one. I probably should have went up top with it, looking back on it. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Now, he was smart. He did some short-handed stuff here because I'm so short. He just kind of threw some baby uppercuts, it looks like. Oh, Lord. Why is this doing this? Yep, and it looks like he did that a couple more times, too. Boom. We re-engage. We already did this. Blah, blah, blah. And then right here, I get a good body shot in. Man, I've got to find a different way to do this. Because really all it is my mic. I just like the mic on my Oculus. Well, the mic is working right now, so I think I can just use it like this. Boom. Yeah, that works. Yeah, and honestly, on his part, great if you would have put a little more behind it. He posted, and that should have been a mean knee. Just bomb right into me, but he was kind of just walk forward with it into more punches. My hands were down this whole time. Now, part of this was I just felt comfortable. So that's a large part of it. I felt comfortable fighting him with my hands down. So, that's as good of an excuse as I can get, but I definitely would not have done the same thing now. Just it's not worth it. There's a couple of times where I do it on purpose to bait him, but I still argue it's not worth it. Like 80% of this fight that I'm doing it. Boom, he throws. That should have been a better check for sure, looking back on it. Oh, we threw at the same time. That explains that. I thought I lifted it for a check. I don't even check like that. So we both kind of went for the same kick, same time, and then we really both exited the same way. I moved in with a 1-2. I'm really trying to see what happened there. 1-2, and then he kind of came, and right there, I should have sent an uppercut off this backhand or just hooked and circled around, but I did not. I just sat there. Again, I sat there shelled up with my hips square to him like an idiot. He was able to throw some stuff in there, and then I had to back up. Now, I still didn't take any damage, but still just poor decision making. I hop back out. I'm going here. I keep circling my hands with my hands down, especially for how tall he is. I should have known this, but I believe I'm very good at judging distance and kicks and stuff. So that's probably where my brain was. But yet again, I know now I'm in striking distance. I would have my hands a lot further up, and I definitely would be circling them like this. That reach down, just in the moment thing. Bop. I think I was looking for that hook counter that I thought he was going to throw or something on that right hand. This is when I started getting comfortable. When I was like, oh, I can land my jab. When I popped it out and I was able to pop him, that's when I really lowered my guard. That's the way I like to fight. Not saying it's the best, it's just the way I like to. In this like low guard stance, like more taekwondo-ish, I guess. That's just, my base and everything, so I like it. So like right there even, I froze up. That made no sense. Froze. I just I didn't know what to do. I should have thrown back or something, which these days I would. I think there was an accidental cup hit here. Right. I'm still looking for it. Let me see. Was that, oh, did I catch him in the nuts with the uppercut? Yep. So when his knee came up, I went for I'm probably like a body hook, and I think I caught him in the nuts a little bit. And it happens. It was an accident. I did not do that on purpose. Felt terrible. And so anyways, we went to our corners and reconvened. Looking back on this, I truly wish I would have just been more aggressive, because I wasn't tired, too. It's not like it was a cardio issue. So he threw that. I was hoping for that kick again, but there goes that inside kick again. And I'm looking for this pull too. I'm looking for that pull too, and I could have thrown it just then. But now I'm getting loose. I start feigning stuff. That was a wild, I don't know what my goal was there. I don't know what I was aiming for. I think I saw an opening, and there is one, but I did not commit to it. I didn't step in. I wasn't in reach. And I've got long arms, but obviously he has longer. And then he just started, he gave me a little here and there. Still took no damage. I had my guard up, but should have never took that in the first place. I'm not sure if that's where I gave him a bloody nose, or it was the next punch, combo thing that did it. But right here, boom. This was beautiful, but you see how I dropped my hand when I threw it? Like an idiot. That's just asking just to get knocked. And I think I took one to the face, but I just caught him faster, so it lost its power. But this hand is just terrible. It's just loose. And then same thing. I mean, we stopped on point. I'm going to skip all this just because of the music. I don't want to get copyrighted for no reason. My God. I know it's a 1 minute break. All right, there we go. Let me just go ahead, skip all that. All right, cool. We touch gloves. I think this is when I went to my corner and they kind of were just like, hey, be more aggressive. And I was like, yeah, I'm good out there. Just tell me what to do. These wide wind-ups I'm doing just are not necessary. I could have landed so many without these wide wind-ups. Boom. It's a good Superman, and I followed up off of it a little bit, but I kind of get in that stuck position while he's throwing those knees. Yet again, no damage from him, but I'm just stuck. There's not much I can do. Well, I'm not going to say not much I can do. There's not much I did. But I just sat there and kind of took them. Instead of looking for options up or out or fighting in the clinch to get to a better position. At the time, I wasn't a clinch fighter at all. Like, I didn't know anything about the clinch, so I was just like, I'll just sit here, keep my arms in tight, and pray he doesn't, knee me until I die. But yet again, this circling of the hands, I'm really good at judging distance. I knew that wasn't going to hit, and I'm still looking for this pull too the whole time. And you'll see I eventually get it, but right there even, I could have thrown that too with a little bit of a step. Right there, I feinted it, but that feint, my God, I'm looking at this fight, it's hilarious. This feint is terrible. What was that? What was I threatening? Was it supposed to be like a I don't even know. I don't know what that was supposed to be, but it was terrible. It was supposed to be like I guess like a Superman punch feint. But I didn't do an inside leg kick. Like I said, this circling the hand stuff, I don't do it anymore. And Here's where I messed up a lot. I had almost zero head movement. Like, I think there were moments where I remembered I needed to do it, and I would throw it on some of my punches, but in overall, no head movement, which part of it was to throw them off, because I just know my timing pretty well, but if I would have had head movement, it would have been over a lot faster. Like, what is this circling? What is this circling thing I'm doing here? And especially with how low his guard is, I think see, this was I was kind of swinging for the fences here, and he stepped way out the way, and I mean I committed to an overhand, but I just wasn't in distance, and then after that, my weight was split, and I thought he might come in or something, so I stepped out, did all these movements, and stepped back. When in all reality, I could have just stepped over here and then re-attacked from the side, looking at it now, and 20/20 vision, boom, step out, and then come right back across that right hand, but across. And now I started filling out that kick, and I knew if he threw that kick again, it was mine. I knew for these kicks, as soon as he threw it, I could throw a hard hand. I just knew it. So I was really looking for that leg kick. So right here, I threw one of my favorite punches as well, which is a guard breaker or a guard splitter, whichever one you want to call it. Everybody has a different, name for it. Bang! I love the guard splitter. I don't care what anybody says. It is one of the most effective punches ever. You see this load here? The load itself is almost like a feint, and then you can just split it right through the center, and it leads for a secondary each time. I mean, every time. But look at the sloppiness of me throwing that punch. That might have been where the bloody nose happened. Let me see. Does he already have one? Yeah, he already has one. I don't know when it happened. We'll look back, but that was the other thing. I saw his bloody nose at some point, and I was like, oh yeah, like, I've at least got him thinking, this guy hits hard. So I think I got a little too comfortable, more and more and more and more and more. So just foolishness that I could have ended the fight better. But strong, guard splitter to 2. Like you can see, I'm pretty relaxed about it. But right here, I boop him. I give him the old whoop whoop, boop whoop, boop. Little boot, but I should have played off of that. All of this I could have done something with, but instead I was just focused on moving around, which for my first fight, not terrible, but looking back on it again, there's so much I could have done off of that. Boom, there it is. I waited way too long, but that's exactly what I was looking for. I was looking for that catch. Like, we train this nonstop at our gym, just for at least MMA striking, and it's my favorite thing to get. Is a catch into that right hand. Bang! Right there, I should have thrown it. I waited way too long. See how I set all my weight, wait for him to put his foot back down, then I step in. I knew I was going to hit it, but nonetheless, that was way too long. And right there, I should have followed up off of it. I think that's probably what those two were like irate about. By the way, great corners. Stepped in the day of. So many stories about that one. But boom. Boom, I should have followed up. Right there would have been a perfect time for a left uppercut or a left hook or something. Just right after that moment. Right there. Boom, his face is wide open. He's dazed. I could have hopped in with like a bunny hop hook, or I could have thrown up this lead leg just straight up to the head. But, 20/20. And you can see him shake his head like, okay, all right, I got it. I'm not going to throw that like that anymore. But at this point, I'm not tired and stuff. I'm comfortable, so it felt, like I said, like more of a sparring session than anything else. Boom, that right kick. He gets distance. Boom, that teep. Distance. He's throwing, I'm not going to say lazy kicks, tired kicks, because we were both getting more tired.
Yes, Chase, good. Go, Chase, go.
I'm trying to see what they were saying go to. Not in a rude way, just genuinely. Yeah, that was he threw a right. It popped me, but after that,
yes,
none
Chase,
of that.
Good.
They were very loose and lazy punches. There wasn't much behind them. So when he did hit me, there just wasn't much behind it. Not that he wasn't hitting me, because he was. Just there wasn't much behind the punches. They weren't loaded and stuff like that. So
Let's go, Chase.
boom, nothing but respect. Bum bum. They told me basically this is the last round. Don't leave it. Try not to leave it to the decision. So I just kind of came out swinging. I think we were both kind of told the same thing. Boom. Those, like I said, if he would have kept with that, it might have been a different fight. If he would have kept with keeping me down and just throwing those knees, he would have been solid. But he actually told me after the fight, he goes, I was afraid you were going to clinch because you were a shorter dude. And I'm like, I don't know how to clinch. So it was just, not knowing. But he put a lot of pressure here. No damage, but a lot of pressure. Like a lot of control and a lot of pressure. Right there was a solid hit. I don't remember it hurting per se, but I do remember it landing. I'm not hyping myself up here. I just don't. Nothing. I didn't leave at any point like, dang, my head hurts. I got hit. There was like 2 hits during it where I was like, oh, this is a real fight. Not in a root, just like this is a real fight. But other than that, it was, even this hit, it's a really good hit. Right there. Boom. I mean, square. That's as open of a hit as you can because I'm dropping my hands like an idiot. And I shelled up, but after that, the follow-ups just weren't what they needed to be. I tried to throw a knee with my little short behind with nothing to work with. I had, I had an underhook, it looked like, on his left hand, but he had dominant position completely. I didn't even have anything on his bicep or his tricep, so I was just going to get mauled. If he would have, bang, like that knee right there, if he would have kept with that and kept his hand up and kept dragging me down, different game. And honestly, the ref broke that up. So I don't know. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure the rules allowed for that. If he would have just been throwing aggressive knees right there, like bang, bang, bang. It was late. He was tired and stuff, from what I understand, but he would have had that. So we get a reset, and I like fighting at distance, so we go back to this. Boom. I get my distance back. He throws a nice little teep kick, but I don't know. Kicks for range, unless it's a very good follow-up and all that stuff, and this is why punches need to be led with hands. If you would have thrown hands first at a distance or anything and then thrown that, much more effective. But I'm just watching his foot come from the ground all the way up, and it's like all the way from the back too. Like I don't have to worry about that. Same thing with these punches. They're going out a little too lazy. Same thing with the teep. Now, he's long enough to use this teep. It's just not being used properly. Not feints with it or anything. Boom. I'm throwing wild here. I'm throwing pretty wild. I'm tired at this point. And so right there, that was a bad thing. If he would have countered right then, I know it's being specific, but this little walking movement I do to do the second one, bung, bung, this is bad business. Not the rotation, right? If I can stop exiting out of this. Boom. That is bad business. My foot off the ground, he's loaded back here. If he would have thrown a right, game over. You can't see this part really well. I remember catching his kick. So that was my I knew I could catch it after I did it the first one. Boom. You can see, boom, I registered, then boom. As soon as it passed through, caught that leg, pulled it through past my hip, and then just brought my whole body into him. Another thing I like, I'm very big on like catching kicks and stuff like that. If I can get them, boom. Especially with how low he was throwing them and how short I am, they're easy to, judge and get to with no feints or anything with them. I don't know what that was. It looks like a hammer fist or something. Yeah, I don't know. Like a side fist.
Yeah, Chase, yeah! Let's go!
So let me rewind and see. So even here, bomb, his knees, again. If he was throwing better knees with his hips forward, a different game. My stomach might have been torn up. We both kind of were getting tired at this point. I didn't exit, and yet again, I think this was not a good exit. We both were just like, okay, we're going to circle out now. And that's like kind of the agreement we came to in that moment. Right here, we're like, okay. But right there, he moved right into my left hand. I could have thrown a hook or something right there instead of circling out. But my hand was too low to do that. But this is where I said I'm comfortable with these jabs coming up from the bottom. Boom. It's just straight from the bottom. It's quick. People don't look for it. They don't like it. And I can go high-low. But again, those are some good pops from his side. I froze up immediately. Boom. I go too low. I don't drop my body weight down to get it. I just lean for it. And that I pay for. Because now when I go to stand up, Boom. He's right there waiting for me. Boom. And then he follows through. Boom. Just another one. And then I'm out of reach by that point. Now, none of these hurt, but they hit me and they rocked me. Like in terms of they made me have to reconsider, readjust. I couldn't just sit there, even though I did just freeze. I had to back up at least, and I should have done a lot more circling out. Boom, boom, boom. This is where, like, I'm getting comfortable in my 1-2s or my bread and butter. I jump in with the 1 and then just go straight over his hand with the 2. And that's, that's like my bread and butter when it comes to fighting most of the time. I'm trying to get better to where I have more stuff, but it works. And when it works, it works. My technique's a little off on this because you see I just lean forward and walk right into that, which is just foolishness. If I would have thrown that tighter and brought my hands back in, I could have played off of it or even rolled under this left hand. But instead, I just walked right into him. And right there, for him, those are knees. Boom. If he would have done his left knee first, that would have been it. Not it, but you get what I'm saying. Boom. That should have been a left knee. If he would have switched or just thrown this up and pulled me down, different day. But that was a good, what he did right there, framed off and then threw a knee. That's what he should have done from the beginning. That was good. Now, I hit my forearms, didn't do anything, but still, that's the right way. This is where he was getting a little frisky, throwing jump right kicks. I guess just trying to score points and do something. I don't know. But yet again, it's the distancing. I wasn't worried about that. Inside, I should have thrown that right hand. I'm doing a lot of freezing, almost like I can't remember if I'm trying to feint or what, but it's like, what was this? What am I doing? And then I just drop my hands. That's insanity. He sweeps over. Like I said, if he would have led some of this stuff with punches, he could have caught me. But I can see it coming from the ground. Good question mark, but I just slide it off. Bum bum. He gets me on both of those. I'm like, okay, now I need to start moving my head. I get low. Boom. I just throw that overhand. Nice and tight. And this is when, the bell, it's about to go on, so we just kind of let loose. This is what I should have been doing more so some of the match. When I had that time to pull off. I mean, all of this right here, boom, 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 boom. I should have been doing that the entire time. In all honesty. And I don't know why I let up right there either. Boom, boom. I think yep, there it is. I stepped too far out to the side, and then he just fired back. Oh, no, I lied. He slipped and rolled and came up with something. And then just came, bum, 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 and came right back. What I should have done was slipped an uppercut or something in there. But at the time, I wasn't really working uppercuts or any of that. Or even now, what I would have done is move to the left side where it's open, stepped out, and thrown a knee, a flying knee or a jump knee right to his chest, to the outside. But, time goes up. I ended up winning the fight by points. And that was that. So that's been the first fight analysis. I hope you guys enjoyed it. All the terrible cuts and all.